Hello children, yesterday we have learned about the cancer. What is cancer? I told it is just uncontrolled cell division which lead to the formation of the tumor, a masses of cells where the cell will become mad without any control, without any proper goal or aim. Cells will be simply multiplying and forming the tumor, that is the cancer. And in the cancer, that is in the tumor, there are two types I told, that is benign tumor and the malignant tumor. Till here we have discussed yesterday. Now let us go to the next, that is the types of cancer. So in the cancer there are two types, already I told you, that is benign tumors and malignant tumor. Benign tumor, it is usually confined to the place where it is originated, where it is formed. Here the cells will not move from its place of origin to the other, thus it will not spread. Fine. Whereas malignant tumor cells, they will multiply fast and they will move from one place to another place. They will grow very rapidly, and when from their original place, that is the place where they form, from there the cells will get separated and move with the bloodstream. They will move with the bloodstream, and wherever to whatever surface, whatever organ they will get stuck. If they stick to the organ, there again it will create one more tumor. It will it will form another tumor. Thus, it spreads the cancer. It spreads the cancer. So, that is the malignant tumor. So, malignant tumor cells, they are not confined to the area where it is originated. They exhibit the movement. This property is called metastasis. What do you mean by metastasis? The cancerous cell will move from their place of origin to the different parts with the bloodstream and spread the cancer. That is the metastasis. It is a question for 1 mark which is asked in the annual exam. So, malignant tumor and benign tumor, the difference is for 2 marks. Benign tumor, what do you keep in your mind? The benign tumors are confined to the place where they are formed, whereas malignant tumor cells, they are not confined to the place where they are formed. And benign tumors can be surgically removed, whereas malignant tumor cells can't be removed because the cells are not encircled, they are not held in a capsulated sheath. They are loose, they have got the capacity of moving away from their place of origin. So here I have taken two images. The first image which you are seeing, it is a benign tumor. So if on the body, if we see a knot which is not getting cured for longer time, then it can be a benign tumor. Fine. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಗಂಟು ಥರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದು ತುಂಬ ದಿವಸದಿಂದ ವಾಸಿ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದು ಬಿನೈನ್ ಟ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಫೈನ್. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ, ಗುಳ್ಳಿ ಗಿಳ್ಳಿ ಆಗ್ತವ, ಕುರು ಥರ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತದ, ಹಣ್ಣಾಗಿ ಹೊಡಿತದ. See, sometimes you may get the bowels on the body, you may get swellings on the body. It may be because of different reason, but it will get it will get damaged, pus and the blood will come out from that. Afterwards it will get cured. If it is benign tumor, it will be simply growing slowly, it will be growing, it will not rupture. So that might be a benign tumor. And here side I have taken the image of a malignant tumor. Image of a malignant tumor. So usually malignant tumor, here the capsule is not there, the covering sheath won't be there on the cancerous cell. You can see it, just let me disappear from the screen so that you can see the image clearly. See, here you can see, here two images I have taken. See, here you can see the swelling and see the difference. Here you can see a clear skin. Here you can see the reddish structure. Here also you can see the structure. That means here the cells have got the chances of moving from one place to other place. So these two are the different types of cancer which we have. What are they? Benign and the malignant. You have to know the difference for 2 marks, and about 1 also for 2 marks. What is benign tumor? It is a tumor which is confined to its place of origin and can be removed surgically, and it will not spread from the origin to the different parts of the body and will not cause damage. There is no threat of death. Malignant tumor, what do you remember about the malignant tumor? Here cells grow very rapidly and they have got the capacity of invading and damaging the surrounding cells and the tissues, and when it has got the capacity of moving with the bloodstream, and wherever it will get stick, that part will get converted into a cancer. The capacity of the malignant tumor cells moving from one part to the other part causing cancer is called metastasis. Fine. Hope you understood, and these are the two images. This first image is an image of benign tumor and the second one is the image of malignant tumor. Now let me go to the next. So here I have taken the image of a benign tumor and a malignant tumor. So you can see here that the benign tumor, it is covered by a capsule. Fine. And see the malignant tumor cells? They are separated. It is not surrounded by any capsulated structure. The simple differences, and this is the image which I have taken from the net. So here some of the important points are there. That is, the benign tumor cells will not spread cancer. That is, they are non-cancerous, they are capsulated, they are non-invasive. ಇನ್ವೇಸಿವ್ ಅಂದರೆ ತೂರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು. ಇವು ತೂರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. And they are slow growing. They will grow slowly and they do not metastasize. They will not spread, and cells are normal. Cells are normal only. Whereas here in the normal, in the sense few structure may be changed, but almost the cells are normal. Fine. But here in the malignant tumor cells, the cells are cancerous. They have got the potentiality of spreading the cancer and they are non-capsulated. That is why they show metastasis. Fine. And they will grow very fast, and cells have large and a dark nuclei, and the shape, cells are abnormal in shape. So this is about a simple image of malignant and the benign tumor. Now let me go to the properties of the cancer cells. So here two images are there, that is the normal cell image and cancer cell image. So cancer cells grow and divide at an abnormal rate, abnormally rapid rate. I told you that the cell division, it is in controlled and regulated manner. So here in the cancer cell, such regulation won't be there, and cell differentiation is also not found. Here in the cancer cell, you will not see any differentiation of the cells into tissues, and the cell membrane is abnormal. The cytoskeletal structure will become disorganized. The cytoskeleton will become disorganized. That is why the cell will become shapeless, and also the membrane also will become abnormal. The cytoskeleton proteins and its morphology will become abnormal, right? The abnormality in cells can be progressive with a slow transition from normal cells to benign tumors to malignant tumor. What it means? Here the normal cell slowly changes in structure. The nucleus will become very prominent and many nuclei will develop. The nucleus will become large and the cytoskeleton will become disorganized. When the cytoskeleton will become disorganized, the cell itself will lose its shape and the mitochondria will become swollen. The mitochondria will become swollen and the ribosome number will increase. The number of ribosomes will increase. That is how the normal cells slowly will get converted into the cancerous cells. So that is about the properties of the cancerous cells. You have to know it for 3 marks, right? Let me go further. So here the normal cell and cancerous cell, some of the differences are there. Like, or you can take it as a characteristic of a normal cells and characteristic of a cancer cells. Here the nucleus is small and uniform shape is there, and cytoplasm is more. Cytoplasm is present in large quantity, and the nucleus has got the cell is having a definite shape. In the tissue, you know, tissue is a group of cells with a defined function. So they will be having the similar shape and the size, and cells are arranged in a discrete, in a particular manner. Fine. And they will get differentiated into tissues, and cell surface is having the markers, that is the receptor proteins, or you can say marker. Usually all the cells have got a definite protein pattern on its surface, which are called as surface markers, and their capacity, cell division capacity is not much high. Lower levels of dividing cells it is given here. They will be dividing in a controlled and regulated manner. Fine. And cell tissues clearly are demarcated. Fine. The cell tissues, they have got a well defined demarcation, separate. You can just say that this is a tissue as the group of cells are there, and it is a well defined group of cells. Fine. On the other hand, what do you see, what difference you'll see in the cancerous cells? The nuclei is large. Fine. The nuclei is very large compared to the normal, and cytoplasm is less. Cytoplasm is less. Shell, here cell shape and the size differs. So you can see here the shape of the cell is totally different, and the size is also different compared to here. And disorganization of the cells are not properly arranged. And here the markers are elevated. I mean, markers are not properly present on the cell membrane. So elevated expression of certain cell markers. Some of the markers will show elevated markers. Fine. And a large number of dividing cell. The cell division capacity in the cancer cell is more compared to the normal cells because of absence of regulation, and the boundaries of the tumor cells are not clearly marked because they are not going to form the tissues only. Fine. So that is about the difference between, or you can say, the cancer cell property and the normal cell property. Simple 4 characters to remember, children. What is that? Here the nucleus is small, well defined with a large amount of cytoplasm. Here nucleus is large, it is abnormally shaped, and the cytoplasm is less. And here the cell division is controlled and in a regulated manner. Here cell division is not controlled and in a regulated manner. And here the cell shape and size is proper, right? The cell shape and size is having a definite structure, definite shape and definite structure will be there. And here cell shape and size is not proper. And here the markers, surface markers are present. And here the surface markers are not present in a proper way. And here the capacity of the cell division is less, and here the capacity of the cell division is more. That is in a uncontrolled manner. Cell division is uncontrolled, and here cell division is controlled. Cytoplasm, in the cytoplasm, the cytoskeleton is disorganized, where the cancer cell, and here it is present in a organized manner. These 5 difference you keep in your mind. ಏನೇನು ತಲೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೋತೀರಿ? ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್, ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಿನ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇಪ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟವಾದ ಆಕಾರ ಮತ್ತು ಸೈಜ್ ಒಳಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಶೇಪ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೋ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೋ. ಫೈನ್, ಇಷ್ಟು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ. Now let me go to the next causes of cancer. Why persons will get, why individual will get cancer? So the cancer usually we will get through the cancer causing agents which are called carcinogens. One more question. So what do you mean by carcinogens? These are the factors which causes the cancer. The carcinogens may be physical, chemical, biological, right? The carcinogens may be physical agent, they may be chemical agent, or they may be biological agent. So in the physical carcinogens, ionizing radiations like X-ray, gamma rays, UV rays, these causes the cancer because these will damage the genetic material which is present in the nucleus. Thus, the cell will get converted into a cancerous cell. The chemical carcinogens include tobacco, the main common cause which is responsible for the cancer of the lung, that is lung cancer, is the tobacco. In the tobacco, nicotine will play a very important role. Apart from this, we have got lead, and we have got mustard gas, asbestos. These all causes the cancer. Here I have taken only one example, that is tobacco, which is very common, which is a very common factor for the lung cancer. Biological carcinogens. In the biological carcinogens, oncogenic viruses, the viruses which causes cancer are called oncogenic viruses, and the genes which causes cancer are called oncogenes. Certain viruses are responsible for the cause of the cancer. Such viruses are called oncogenic viruses, and the genes are called oncogenes. Some of the genes are present in the cell itself, which are called cellular oncogenes, or they are called proto-oncogenes. Cellular oncogene is also indicated as C-ONC, short form of cellular oncogenes. They are present in the normal cells, but they are not present in activated form. They are suppressed. Fine. So what are cellular oncogenes? These are the genes which are normally present in our normal cells, but they are present in inactive state. So that is about let me say little thing about this further. So what are carcinogens? Carcinogens are the things, or you can say the agents which causes cancer. One more question. And how many types of carcinogens do you see? 3 types of carcinogens: physical, chemical, and biological carcinogens. 2 more questions. What are carcinogens? Name different types of carcinogens. Physical carcinogens example, what do you give? X-rays, UV rays, and gamma rays. What do they do mainly? They will damage the genetic material. We can say they induce mutation which leads to the cancer. Chemical carcinogens also stimulate the cell to get converted into a cancerous cell. Here we have taken tobacco as an example. The chemical content of the tobacco is nicotine. This only one example. If you remember, it is well and good. You can remember other examples also, which I told: mustard gas, asbestos particles in the air which are present, and mainly the workers who will be working in the asbestos industry, and lead. Usually it is advised one should not eat in the newspaper. One should not eat in the newspaper. That too, if you should not pour the hot things and eat. You have to avoid only, fine, because it induces the cancer. And also the disposable bottles which we take for drinking water, when we purchase, we have to destroy them. We should not use them continuously, because when it comes in contact with the light or temperature, sun rays, it will become carcinogenic. That also has got the capacity of inducing cancer, it seems. Fine. The recent research has shown that one. Now, these two carcinogens I told. Now, let me go to the biological carcinogens. Biological carcinogens, here, certain biological agents have got the capacity of inducing cancer. Among them, certain viruses are there which are called oncogenic viruses, and the genes which are present in them is called oncogenes. And the normal cells of the body also have got the cancer inducing genes which are called cellular oncogenes, or they are called proto-oncogenes. They are usually present in the normal cells. Fine. But let me just say you, these cellular oncogenes, sometimes they will get activated by certain factors. It may be any factor, maybe when we get exposed to certain stimulants, maybe chemical, maybe if we have got the genes, if we have the habit of eating tobacco, like that, certain habits will precipitate these genes and they will get converted, they will become activated and then causes the cancer. That is why in coming slides maybe that is there. So that is why usually if we know that we have got genes which are responsible for causing cancer, one can take care to avoid those habits which leads to the formation of the cancer. Now let me go to the further slide. Now, how to detect cancer and diagnosis. Cancer detection and diagnosis. So certain points we have to remember, certain methods are there to know the cancer. So early detection of cancer is very important to get the proper treatment. So usually early, how do you come to know that a person is suffering with the cancer? Any knot in the body, if it is not getting cured, if it remains for many days, then we must suspect ourselves that might be a cancer. Fine. One reason, usually, when the inside the body, when the cancer tumor will be growing, we will be not coming to know that a person is suffering with the cancer. I told how much place is possible till that place it will grow. When it will grow sufficiently large, then it will start exerting pressure on the nerves. Then only we will come to know that something is wrong with the body, that particular part, because of the radiation of the pain. Fine. So till that time we will be not knowing. That is why we will say that cancer will strike without giving any warning. Well, the tumor which is there in the body, or the abnormal knot which is there in the body, whether it is cancerous or some other thing, how do you come to know? Here some of the tests are given, like biopsy and histopathological studies. Biopsy means a part of the suspected, from the part which is suspected, from there a small portion will be taken. Fine. Then it is processed. A slide is made and then that is observed under the microscope for the cancerous property. So by that we will be knowing that whether the cells are cancerous or not. Histological details. Histopathological study means the cancer cells detailed study will be done. Just now I have told you what are the properties of the cancer cells. The normal cells and the cancer cells, when you compare, you will be knowing that these cells are not normal, something is wrong with these cells. Then the suspected portion may be a cancer. That is biopsy and histopathological study. Next, radiography, like some of the techniques like radiography, computed tomography, magnetic resonance imaging. So here the radiations are passed to study the structure. Like X-rays. X-ray is also one method to know whether a person is suffering with the cancer or not. Computed tomography. Here the magnetic rays are used to take the three-dimensional image of internal organs. And in the MRI also, strong magnetic field is used to take the image. So here a little one sentence is there, like in the computed tomography, uses of X-rays to generate a three-dimensional image of the internal object. Wherever you want to take image, you can take with the help of the computed tomography. Here the X-rays are used to create the three-dimensional image, it seems. And in the MRI technique, a strong magnetic field is created. You have seen that the latest technology is the MRI. By using this technology, we can get, we will be knowing that whether the person is suffering with the cancer or not accurately. It is an accurate test, we can say. A little bit costly, but it will give a correct result. Now let me show you the images of these techniques. Like here in the first, this image will show a computed tomography scanning. The patient is here and he is sent into the machine, computer tomography scanning machine, and then the x-rays are used to take the image, and it is a MRI technique. Here the MRI technique, how it is used, that you will be able to see. Here the person is sent into the machine and the high magnetic field is created inside the machine, and you know that inside this room no other person is allowed, only patient and the physician will be allowed, who is taking the image of a particular patient, and this will be supervised on the screen of a computer. So this you might have seen wherever you will visit to have the MRI or the CT scanning, or sometimes you might have seen in the movies also. That is about just a little information, fine. And now I have to go to the next one. Treatment of the next diagnosis method. So antibodies against cancer specific antigens are also used for detecting certain cancers. So antigen, any non-self particle, you know about this, fine. Antibodies, when they are used, when the cancerous antibodies are used, their target organ is the antigen. By this method also the cancer can be detected, and techniques of molecular biology is also there. So usually the cancer, it will escape from the identification by the immune system, fine. So usually in the individuals, the immune system will fail to identify the cancer. Sometimes what will happen here, the genes, a modified genes, let me just go through it. Molecular biology can be applied to detect genes in individuals with inherited susceptibility to certain cancers. Identification of such genes, just now which I told, if we suspect that in a particular person's family, if cancer is there, fine, some 2 to 3 generation or 2 to 3 individuals, if they are having the cancer, then automatically the physician will get a doubt that maybe the other individuals also might be having the cancer, fine. So when such genes are identified in the individual, then the physician can give advice to avoid exposure to some carcinogens which may precipitate the cancer, which may cause the cancer. Here that is the technique through the molecular biology. First we have to identify whether the person in particular family, whether the person is suffering with the cancer, how many individuals are suffering with the cancer, fine. If it is there, then we can advise the person just to avoid the carcinogens, certain carcinogens, like here we have taken the example of tobacco. Next we have to go this treatment of cancer. 2 mark question it is. Treatment of cancer. So here we have got 4 methods: surgery, radiation therapy and immunotherapy is there, and combination of surgery and the chemotherapy. Chemotherapy I did not write here. Surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy and immunotherapy. 4 methods are there and is for a 2 mark question. It is for 2 mark question. In radiotherapy, this radiotherapy is also called as radiation therapy. Here what is done? The strong radiations are passed to the tumor to kill the tumor cells. Fine. And apart from the tumor cells, sometimes the surrounding cells also will die. As far possible, the normal cells are saved from the radiations, but then also the surrounding some of the tissues will get damaged. That is about the radiation therapy. Fine. So next let me go to the next one. Okay. Chemotherapy. Chemotherapy, here certain chemicals are used for the treatment of the cancer. Certain tablets will be given for the treatment of the cancer, and here the major side effect, it has got the side effect like severe hair fall will be there and the severe anemia will be there. In chemotherapy, chemicals are used, that is tablets are used to cure the cancer, and the side effect of this is the hair loss. Full kudla hogi bidtava, but severe anemia. So it leads to weakness. This is the second method, and many of the cancers are treated by the combination of all 3. Like surgically, the cancer tumor is removed. After when the cancer tumor is removed, some of the cells may remain there. Fine. All the cells might not be, they might not have removed by the surgery. Just to avoid the risk, that particular portion is treated again by the radiotherapy. That is, after surgery, that part is exposed to the radiation to kill if any cancer cells will remain, if they remained in that particular place, in that particular vicinity. And after that, the chemicals are also given, tablets are also given. So combination of these 3 is also helpful in treating the cancer. Now next is, I was just confused and told in a previous about the treatment. That is, some of the cancers, they are not detected by the immune system. So the patients will be given the biological response modifiers like interferon. Interferons, they activate the immune system and they destroy the tumors. They destroy the tumor. So interferon will make the cells to secrete the tumor necrosis factor, and the tumor necrosis factor will shrink the tumor. So this is also one method of treatment. So what all methods are there in the treatment? Surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy and immunotherapy, you can say immunotherapy. So here the immune system is activated by giving biological response modifiers, as here interferon we have taken as an example. Fine. So this will shrink the cancer tumor. So that is about the cancer treatment. Now let me go to the next slide. So major types of cancer, it is for extra shots, we can say extra points. Here I have taken a detail, don't want now extra points. So study of cancer is called oncology. This already you know. The study of cancer is called oncology, and different types depending upon the area or the organ which is getting affected by the cancer, carcinogen. So based on that, we have got 4 to 5 types of cancer depending upon the area. Like carcinoma, it is a cancer of epithelial tissue. that cover or line the body organs, or simply you can say the cancer of epithelial tissue. And majority of the cancers are carcinoma, like skin cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer. Sarcoma, it is a cancer of connective tissue like bone, muscles, etc. Melanoma, it is a cancer of melanocyte. You know, melanocyte, it is a pigment responsible for the coloration of the skin. So the cancer of melanin pigment is called melanoma. Leukemia, it is blood cancer, cancer of WBC, or you can say blood cancer, where the WBC number will increase abnormally. You know, RBC number will be more compared with the WBC. When the WBC number exceed much, then that is called leukemia. Lymphoma, it is the cancer of lymph node and the spleen. Usually we remember the lymph node because the names itself says the type of the cancer. Glioma, it is the cancer of glial cells of central nervous system. Glial cells, they are the supporting cells of the nerve cells. It's already you have learned in the first year. Now, oncogenic viruses, I told you, herpes simplex virus, which causes herpes. It causes the cancer of uterus, cervix in the human, especially in women. It causes cancer of uterus and the cancer of cervix. Now, the common weed, Catharanthus roseus, ಸದಾ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ ಇದು. Weed we will say, but it is having a medicinal property, like vincristine and vinblastine are the two chemicals which are used for the treatment of cancer. So that is about the extra points. So in the previous slide, this only by mistake I wrote in a detail, like differently I have typed. So no need for us to go through this once again. As here carcinoma, sarcoma, melanoma, lymphoma and leukemia I have taken. Fine. So this you remember. That is in the extra point. Okay. Now today what all things we have learned? We have learned about the cancer. What is cancer? We have learned. What is cancer? Abnormal growth of the cell. That is abnormal cell division which leads to the formation of a masses of the cell, which is called tumor or cancer. In the cancer, how many types are there? How many types are there? In the cancer, there are two types, benign and malignant. Benign tumor, it is confined to the area where it is formed and cells will not move from that place to other place and can be treated surgically. Malignant tumor, here the cells will not remain in the place where it is formed, and thus it is not possible to remove surgically. Even though we remove that tumor, but some of the cells will remain there and will become responsible for further cause. And here the cells will exhibit metastasis. Here it will not exhibit metastasis. And we read about the carcinogens, that is cancer causing agents. In the cancer causing agents, three different types we have learned: physical, chemical, biological. In the physical, you have to remember about the X-rays, UV rays and gamma rays, and in the chemicals you have to remember about the mustard gas, nicotine, asbestos, lead, etc. And in the biological agents you have to remember about the oncogenes, that is oncogenic viruses and cellular oncogenes, which are present in our body itself, but they are present in inactive state, will become active due to certain unknown reasons sometimes. Fine. So that is about the carcinogens. And how to identify the cancer, that is cancer diagnosis and detection, just I told you. Tumor, a knot, or you can say a lump of cell which is not getting cured for longer time, and you can go for the biopsy and histopathological test, and you can go for the CT scanning, you can go for MRI technology. Fine. And also by using certain antibodies also one can detect the cancer. Next I told you about the treatment of the cancer. Surgery is there, chemotherapy is there, radiation therapy is there, and immunotherapy is there. These four are different approaches towards the treatment of the cancer, and success rate is also there nowadays, no need to worry. And in the extra points, I told the study of cancer is called oncology, and apart from the major two types, depending upon the nature, the cancers are classified into benign and the malignant. Apart from that, based on the location where cancer causes, depending on that, we have got the carcinoma, sarcoma, leukemia, lymphoma, fine, and glioma, depending upon the organ or the location which is going to suffer with the cancer. So hope you understood. Now let me just stop the class here. Tomorrow we will go for the immune system of the body. Hope you are following the classes. Let me end the session.